Well, I mean, I that this is not necessarily the book that I thought that I was writing. I never thought that I would write a memoir, if I'm honest. I always knew, or not always, but from the minute that I had the experience that I talk about in the book, which is falling in love with my childhood best friend, I always knew that that was an experience that I would come back to. That I would write about that specific relationship, the friendship, and the way that that friendship then evolved into an emotional experience for me that was formative and that defined who I am, who I was, and who I am today. So I always knew that that was something that I wanted to return to because at the time that relationship was happening, I didn't really have the language to articulate what I was going through. I didn't quite understand how to explain my emotions and my feelings, either to myself or to my childhood friend. The character is called Ramzi in the book. So I couldn't talk to Ramzi about any of the things that I was feeling about, any of the feelings I was feeling. Or any of the emotions I was going through. And so I always knew that there was something here that I would come back to once I knew how to articulate myself, that I would come back to this experience and talk about it. I mean, I think Britain has a particular responsibility because they were the colonial power at the time, and they were the ones who ushered in and reinforced the Zionist movement, with the Balfour Declaration and agreeing for Zionists to form a so-called Jewish homeland in Palestine. That was a British imperial project. So Britain has a particular role to play in terms of atoning for that, and in terms of understanding its own historic complicity, but also present complicity in protecting Israel, in terms of giving it a carte blanche, in terms of the diplomatic cover that it gives it, in terms of the military aid, which has been well documented that it gives, and for all of that to happen under a Labour government, an ostensibly left-wing government, is I think for me testament to the fact that the left has lost its way. And not, I mean, certainly in the UK, not only in the UK, but in the UK, that all of these parties, or at least Labour, when it comes to power, it moves to the right, thinking that this is the way to deal with the threat of the far right, and in the process, losing its own values and losing the constituencies that it's ostensibly serving. So to see that, groups like Palestine Action, which are deemed or which are threatened in the UK with sort of action that positions them as terrorist organizations is mind-boggling and deeply distressing. And I think that Labour has really undermined itself in this.